He'll also just a quick update for a build that I'm gonna be using when Vykas comes out. I assume everyone knows which spell does what at this point, so I'm not gonna make this too long. I'll just explain what I'm using and some options that are also usable. Okay, so this is my current build. I use this everywhere, Guardians and Legion, so it works very well on Voltan because of the Peril of Storm counter. They also generate a lot of Serenade meter. So let's start with Wind of Music. Okay, first passive, I use Quick Prep for cooldown. If you struggle with mana, you can also use this reduction. This is mandatory, Serenade meter bonus on hit, and shield also, this is mandatory. For Guardian Tune, I use push immunity for now. It seems good in some fights. If you struggle with mana, you can use reduction, and casting speed is more or less, I have tripod for this, I tried with it, but like push immunity just feels better. Shield when the buff expires, and this block 1 debuff depends on the content. The cooldown -50 and duration 50 is also usable, depends on the content, right? If there's not too many debuffs or there's any debuffs at all that you need to block, then just use this one for better shield uptime. Heavenly Tune. First draw of passive is optional. I use a cooldown. If you struggle with mana, use a reduction. I also try to play with cast speed, depends on your playstyle, like cooldown the most. This is also optional. This attack speed plus 80% is a bonus buff that you give to everyone. It's more offensive, and this one that gives attack power reduction to enemy on hit, it's more defensive, so both are usable, depends on your playstyle, you can pick any. And this is mandatory 50% attack buff. Dissonance. This is optional skill. I like it. It generates enough Serenade meter and I use it defensively. So Serenade meter gained as a first passive. If I struggle with mana, I could use mana reduction. This one is mandatory, right? Because it's defensive, it reduces enemy attack power per hit. And this is not really needed, the last one doesn't really help, but increased cooldown and now following enemy is what I use. The Rhapsody of Light, again, this is not mandatory skill. I use cooldown. If you struggle with mana, you have this 50% reduction chance to not use any mana. Attack speed, also usable. Then I like push immunity. Other dose doesn't feel like they're usable. And this 75% damage reduction when allies are targeted, and you also take 50% less damage. Stigma. This is increased duration and number of hits. I think this is a must. Then mark enemies on hit. This is also a must. And then bonus Serenade meter. So some people don't use Stigma, but I think it generates a lot of Serenade meter, so I do. It's also kind of optional. Then Sonic Vibration, mandatory. Push immunity. What's this? Shield on hit, but this is only shield for yourself. Maybe usable, but I kinda like push immunity because all the bosses have a lot of knockbacks and stuff. And what's this? Bonus buff, mandatory, and this 40% bigger area, so you can cover more ground. Prelude of Storm, I use cooldown. You can use this recover 50% mana per enemy hit, but it's bad if you play against one enemy or one guardian. This is mandatory Serenade meter gained, and I use this field, it leaves behind debris. It gains a lot more serenade meter with ticking on the enemy. So I like Prelude of Storm a lot of more than Rin Buckshot. Rin Buckshot is a faster counter, but Prelude of Storm also provides a lot of serenade meter, so I prefer this one. So about optional skills that I said, Dissonance, Stigma, maybe Rhapsody of Light. You can use maybe Sound Shock and Soundholic with a lot of hits on passives. This one that fires shock twice, it leaves debris. The reason why this is usable is for Judgment Conviction. I use it on Dissonance, Conviction and Stigma Judgment. So let's say I'll get a Legendary Conviction, so that's 40% chance here and 40% chance here to proc it. And the amount of hits is plenty, but I saw like Koreans use Sound Shock and Soundholic for more hits, so let me just quickly test this. This one is a Stigma combo, like let's say they're 40% each. I'm summoning the boss. Okay, so dissonance, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plenty. Stigma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's like more than enough needed. Conviction, and then Judgment, yeah. That's like the combo that I use. So this is the option number 2 with a Sound Shock Soundholic combo. Sound Shock, Debris, Holy for more damage, fire it twice, Soundholic, bonus damage, amount of hits, and serenade meter gained. Let's see how many hits does it provide. So Sound Shock, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Okay, so like 15? I guess 15, around 15. And Soundholic. A little bit more than 15, I guess. It's too fast, I can't count it. Anyway, let's see how fast I can jump. It seems faster. So is that the only reason I should use this combo? It's to like have a little bit faster judgment because of the amount of hits is higher. Depends on you, right? I like mine because with Dissonance I give enemy damage reduction. I don't think this is enough damage to justify it for damage, but I can maybe test with unlimited resources, right? So I'll just spend my serenade meter and I'll just test how much actual meter this combo gains compared to mine. Sound Shock, Soundholic. It's not that much, it's barely something. Okay, I'm gonna spend it. And I'm gonna go back to mine now. Okay, this is its Stigma combo. I got Conviction, I got Judgment. It's about the same, right? And I think this Holy Mark is a little bit longer on this than on Sound Shock. Yeah, Sound Shock expires a lot faster. Like it leaves the debris for 2 seconds, but That's all. And this slots for like how much? 5 seconds. Yeah. And yeah, this is that power reduction. I think this is slightly better. I mean, I like it more. Okay, so what I'm missing? Runes. Yeah, I use this Purify on Wind of Music because I use it constantly. Then I have this 70% chance to remove a debuff. I struggle with mana sometimes, but because I use push immunity, I use focus on Guardian Tune, on Heavenly Tune. Then this Conviction, Judgment is a short protection on Rhapsody of Light, just a little bit of HP. Shield while I'm casting this. Focus another mana reduction. And Specialty Meter on World of Storm. For tripods, so basically you have plenty room. You have 18 slots, but total with all the skills that passives that have tripods on all the skills that I assigned, there's like only 14. That's correct. Let me just check. So yeah, you don't even fill all the spots. If you want to test, since you have 4 spots left, this is 1, 2, Sound. Yeah, you can use maybe Sound Shock, Sound Holic, or another spell if you like, maybe Harp instead of Rhapsody of Light to generate more Senate meter. Then it's possible to use that. Other skills I think are mandatory. And nothing cannot be changed except some first row passives. What else? Oh yeah, engravings. So the order priority should be Desperate Salvation first because of this 24%. It's actually more than 24%. It's just last tick is 24%. You get 8 ticks on 4 players, that's 8% if you use it with 1 Serenade meter. And you get like another 24. So that's like 300% increase if you use it with 1 bar. It's not 24% increase. It's like 300% increase, I think. Next one should be Expert. Wait, name up. And third option, priority, I think, Awakening. Heavy armor maybe if you're like struggling, but I think heavy armor is like 4th priority. I think Awakening should be 3 and heavy armor should be 4. And then like for the 5th you can get maybe max MP increase, or maybe increases mass, or like bonus damage on buff if it works like that. Depends. This is like, just get these 4 and you're fine. So I'm missing something else. Yeah, stats. Right. I use swiftness. You can use half swiftness, half specialization. And if you have high level runes for a cooldown, what runes? They say runes? Not runes. It's gems. So yeah, if you have high level gems, then you can go full spec maybe to generate more serenade meter. I did a little bit of a test, not really professional test, just a quick test to see like what generates more serenade meter compared to others in a swiftness specialization build, and that's why I use these skills. I'll leave that in description if I don't forget. Oh yeah, 8 gems, each gem cooldown for each of the abilities that you use. I'm missing one, okay. And let's just see. I want to test Sonic Vibration Heavenly Tune. I always wondered about this. Okay, so I have 18,000 attack power. Let's see, Sonic Vibration 50% make it 22,000, and now I'll use Heavenly Tune for 15% again, 22,000. But what if I use them at the same time? It's the same buff, right? It doesn't stack. Level 58. Rooster 163. I never tested this. Okay, now I know. Like that, now I need to switch the rotation a little bit. What's the cooldown I have on these buffs? Okay, 16 seconds. And it expires. Okay, so I just have to use them separately, okay? Well, okay, so cards, yeah. This is fine for now, 12% HP. Either field boss set or farewell weapon set. But when I get enough awakening on Forest of Giant and we'll meet again, it provides a lot of defense, so I might use that. And of course, end game, you want Lost in Cliff to provide bonus holy damage to party, but that's only if like party members have light observation. There is also set for dark damage. That's all. See ya.